Hello everyone, it's Lurgs here. Welcome to my channel, and today how to replace a faulty light switch. Now what you're going to need for this today is your new light switch, and you're going to need a flat bladed screwdriver. If you're unsure of what you're doing, make sure you definitely get an electrician in. It's not worth taking the risk. 240 volts is a killer. Just to reiterate, if in doubt, consult a competent electrician, or as we like to call them in England, Sparkies. Right, let's get cracking. Right, so this is our kitchen light, and this is the switch, which is broken. It's very flaky. The switch mechanism has actually just worn out, I think. So I just put this cover on to stop people using it. And there's a link above now about how to clean a thermos flask inside the easy way. So the switch is actually working, but it's just very, very flaky. And here is my brand new switch, which I got from a local hardware store at a ridiculously cheap price of 64 pence. And it's just the faceplate that I'm going to be replacing, and it's a one-way switch. Now the first thing you need to do is very important, is turn off the electricity. Do not try and attempt this with the electricity on or with that light switch off, because even with the light switch off, there is still 240 volts coming through that socket. So I've turned the power off, and I'm going to turn the switch off anyway. Then take your flat bladed screwdriver and just remove these two screws here. And there's a link above now about how to clean your UPVC window frames so they stay clean. So just unscrew these anti-clockwise. Let's just speed this up for you. Right, so we've removed those two screws. Now it should just lift out towards you. And there we go. Now before I get into unscrewing these, I'm just going to double check that the power is definitely off using a digital multimeter. So I've got it set to 200 volts, and it is saying it is definitely off, no power. Just to prove that, I'm just going to switch the power back on temporarily. And we've got a reading there of 111 volts. So remember to turn the power back off again. If you're unsure, just double check, and check again that the power is off. Don't take any risks with electricity. Okay, so just need to remove these wires. So you've got two screws at either end, just holding those wires in. So just unscrew those. And there's a link above now about how to check the fuses on your car, van or motorcycle without having to remove them using a multimeter. Okay, so this is a switch that I've just removed. And it was kind of hovering halfway, so it didn't know whether it was on or it was off. So it's just got very flaky. A bit like my wife. I don't know if she's in a good mood or a bad mood. So it's just easier not to talk to her. So take your brand new light switch. And it comes with the screws. Now I'm going to use the new screws, but you could use the old screws. Now depending on what kind of socket you've got, somebody might have cut the length of those screws. So if you need to use the old screws, then do that. So this is the old socket. As you can see, it's exactly the same fittings, common at the top and L1 at the bottom. And I'm going to need my glasses for this because it's getting very small. So just unscrew those screws, not too far because they'll fall out. And then we'll get the wires in. So the red one at the top, just push it in. Once you've pushed it in, then you just tighten it up at the top with that screw. And there's a link above now about how to tie the perfect tie. Not just any tie, a good old Windsor knot. Perfect for weddings, funerals and interviews. Or maybe you've got an interview at a funeral place. Let's just get the black wire in. And then tighten that up. Make sure it's nice and tight. and that the wire is good, and the wire is not showing out. There we go, all looking good. So we can just push that back inside. Make sure you've got it the right way up. Obviously at the back of the base plate it says top. Now get those screws in. As with any screws, I always do them with my hands first. Don't just go whopping in there with your screwdriver because you might damage the thread. So just do it with your fingers first. Once it starts biting and you're happy with that, you can then go in with your screwdriver and tighten it up. And there's a link above now about how to replace your toilet handle flush lever if that has broken. Okay, so just do those up nice and tight. Great stuff. Right, let's turn the power back on and test out that light switch. Great stuff, I'm happy with that. 64 pence and a bit of my time. And now it's time for a lovely cup of tea. Oh. If you found that video useful, please subscribe by pressing this button down here. I really do appreciate you visiting my channel, everyone. If you'd like to select any other useful videos around here, that would be really cool. And be sure to hit that bell notification tab.